Do you ever feel like your heart is racing, and your mind won't stop spinning? Like worry has taken control of your life, and you can't find peace, no matter how hard you try. You're not alone in this battle. Anxiety feels like drowning in your own thoughts. It's like having a smoke alarm going off in your mind when there's no fire. You know you shouldn't worry, but telling an anxious person not to worry is like telling someone who's drowning not to panic. It doesn't work that way. Here's what most people don't understand about anxiety. Even Jesus experienced it. In Matthew 26:38, Jesus tells his disciples, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death." In the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus was so anxious about what was coming that Luke 22:44 says his sweat became like drops of blood. If the Son of God could feel overwhelmed, it's okay that you do too. But Jesus didn't stay in that anxiety. He turned to his Father. 3 times he prayed, surrendering his will to God's plan. This teaches us something powerful. Anxiety isn't sin, but what we do with it matters. King David knew anxiety too. Psalm 55:4-5 says, "My heart is in anguish within me. The terrors of death have fallen on me. Fear and trembling have beset me. Horror has overwhelmed me." But David also knew where to turn. Psalm 55:22 declares, "Cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you." Here's how to overcome anxiety God's way. First, acknowledge your feelings to God. Don't pretend you're fine when you're not. David poured out his heart honestly, and God heard him. Psalm 34:18 promises that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Second, focus on what you can control and surrender what you can't. Jesus could have chosen to run from the cross, but he chose obedience instead. You can choose your thoughts, your prayers, and your responses, but you can't control outcomes. Third, fill your mind with God's truth. Philippians 4:8 tells us to think about whatever is true, noble, right, pure, lovely, and admirable. Anxiety feeds on worst-case scenarios, but faith feeds on God's promises. Fourth, practice gratitude daily. 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says to give thanks in all circumstances. When you're grateful for what you have, there's less room for worry about what you don't have. Fifth, take action where you can, and rest where you can't. Matthew 6:26 reminds us that God feeds the birds of the air, and we are worth much more than they are. God doesn't waste your struggles. He uses your anxiety to teach you dependence on him. When you're weak, his strength shines through. 2 Corinthians 12:9 promises that his grace is sufficient, and his power is made perfect in weakness. Your anxiety doesn't disqualify you from God's love. It qualifies you for his grace. He sees every racing heartbeat, every sleepless night, every worried thought. And in his perfect love, he whispers the same words he spoke to his disciples. In John 14:27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. You are loved beyond measure, chosen for a purpose, and held in hands that will never let you go." If this message reached you at the perfect time, like the video so more people can find it, and subscribe to the channel for simple actionable advice from God's Word. Let us walk together with Jesus, for through Jesus all things are possible.